The organizers that initiated the West Virginia strike, a lot of people don't realize this, were teachers who had first gotten organized together through the Bernie campaign. Teachers put the strike back on the table for working class folks across the country. The strike had disappeared for decades, but starting in West Virginia and then spreading to Arizona and Oklahoma, teachers won, educators won, and they did that by withholding their labor and by forcing the employers to listen to them. And so that really showed the power of the strike. And they won such important gains that I think it points the way forward and shows that if you fight back, you can win. One of the big myths about this country is that we're fundamentally divided between red states and blue states. And Bernie's helped puncture that myth. Everywhere schools have been underfunded. Everywhere there's been a push towards privatization. The strikes popped off first in states like West Virginia or Oklahoma, but now they've spread to California. You had massive strikes in Los Angeles and Oakland, so it's clear that the real division is between the bottom and the top, the 99% and the 1%. There has to be a national movement, both from below, from educators, and in the political sphere to win the schools that our students deserve. And it's clear from the experience of these strikes that in order to win, you need to build the broadest possible coalition of working class people from all backgrounds to be able to push back and defeat really the plans of the right wing and the billionaires. And it's precisely that message that Bernie's taking into the political sphere by trying to unite the broadest coalition of working class folks for our rights that we all deserve. The Bernie campaign has put forward an extremely ambitious, comprehensive plan for saving public education from the forces of privatization. It calls for things like a moratorium on charter schools, a beginning wage of $60,000 for educators, systematic funds to desegregate the school system. These are really the demands that the movement as a whole across the country has been fighting for. If we're able to win the schools that we need, it means that working people as a whole are going to get inspired, and they're going to realize that we can fight not only for good schools, but for a clean environment, for mass transportation, for all sorts of demands. That's this type of movement that has both an organizing dynamic on the ground, but also now a voice in national politics. We have to set our goal in winning the political revolution, winning in 2020 and systematically transforming the priorities of this government, systematically transforming the priorities of this country so that we have all of the needs that working class people really fundamentally deserve but don't have right now. The movement really is just beginning.